Hi everyone. I really haven't posted in a while and I apologize for that, but I'm gonna be consistent starting from now, posting about 2 to 3 times a week. That should be the minimum, yeah, at least. And I'll be posting probably TV reviews, movie reviews, commentary, probably mostly commentary if I'm being honest. But yeah, I'll be consistent and I'll be back here, and don't worry, I'll see you guys again. So today's topic, Top Boy, Season 5, the finale. First of all, before I begin, this show is brilliant. I love the show so much. I really don't like UK shows because, well, I don't understand them. Their accents are really weird to me. But yeah, anyways, the show was great. I loved it so much. I'm glad it ended too, and it didn't continue on as most shows do. It ended in a sweet spot, and the ending was phenomenal. And I'll get to that at the end of this review. So first, let's talk about the tension. This season, the tension was very great because it was kind of built up, and every episode, I was on the edge of my seat. You were worried about the characters. The scenarios were great. The way they were built, you didn't know if they were going to survive because you know this is a show where people just die. You know, as you've seen with Jamie in the last season, or even his friend in the couple seasons before. This is just a very tension built season, especially with it being the finale, and that was great, and I like that. All the side stories, they weren't boring, and they actually had a purpose, and they connected, and I will explain that later on, but I like that part of it. And I'm not saying the other seasons had that, but okay, the other seasons probably did have that. Like, some side characters or side stories were kind of boring to me. If I'm being honest, the Jack's sister, her story got kind of boring to me, but I liked how it ended, but it got kind of boring. But I'm glad it ended the way it did, and I'll get to that one too later with Jack. So Stefan's story, that was brilliant. I loved his story so much. I think he was probably my favorite character. I kind of felt sad for him. We all felt sad for him, and you sympathize for him, right? And you wanted him to go in the right direction, not like his brother Jamie or like his Sully, but you did also want him to get revenge. Most it's kind of a mixed bag because you want him to get revenge, but you also don't want him to fall in the bad path like Sully and them, which was great. Kind of tug of war kind of feeling, and I like that. And I'll get to his ending at the end of the review. Jack. I like how Jack's story isn't just a typical, like, I'm gonna die doing this, like Sully and Deshane, which is great, by the way. I don't know why I said typical. It was great how Sully and Deshane's story ended, which I'll get into, but I like how Jack's wasn't just like them and it wasn't a copy. Hers was more of a realizing the effects of drug and getting out of it before anyone else, and I'm glad that she saw that with her sister dying, and it was a great character development for her. Now, the main characters. Sully and Deshane's divulging into madness was brilliant. I like how Sully was paranoid of everything around him, everyone around him, not trusting anyone, being strict on his rules of no betraying and no lying or anything like that. And I like how in the end he was ready for death. Like, he was like, it's okay, I'm gonna stand by my principles and not beg, because remember he said don't beg to Jack early on, and he said I'm not gonna beg and I'm gonna accept it, which was great. I like how they stick to his character. And Deshane too, he was great too. Just them bantering and them working together but then not working together, that was great. And I like how their story built up to this and ended with this. Also, another great thing about the season is how the real villains weren't really outside people, external forces. It was themselves, them not trusting themselves or other people, in their group, right? They just felt so paranoid by everything closing in on them, all the problems closing in on them, that they were turning against themselves more than other people outside of their group, which is great. It was a great exploration of the psyche and just them not trusting anyone, and that leading to all of their demises, essentially. Not really Jack's and Stefan's, but most of their demises led to them not trusting themselves and just being paranoid, which was great. That's a great villain to have as a season finale rather than some kind of external force that was just introduced. Um, I also like how the riots in the last two episodes kind of symbolize the chaos of the finale and what is happening, what's gonna happen, whether the character's gonna survive or not. I like how the riot symbolized it, and that was brilliant on this story writer's part. The ending dialogue. with Sully and Deshane, I couldn't have thought of a better way of doing that. That was perfect. The camera work, just zooming in on their faces and just making everything so blurry. The sirens, which I noticed the sirens, they were loud in the beginning of that scene, right? But then they slowly died down to being quiet so you can focus on the characters, especially Deshane dying. That was great. Everything about that was great, that scene. You felt it in your heart. You felt bad for Deshane. You felt bad for Sully in a way, even though he killed Deshane, and it was just perfect, that scene. And it was great how Sully was calling for Deshane, and that not really just him calling him, but him realizing he lost everything. He lost his soul, essentially. He's nothing now but a killing machine who has no one. He has his daughter. I don't know why I did quote, but he has his daughter, but other than that, he has no one. No one trusts him. Everyone hates him. And that's all because he stick strictly to his rules. And that was brilliant on how him just calling for Deshane was his final realization of, I'm no one anymore. My soul is gone. I'm nothing. Perfect. I'm glad with the finale, the actual finale, not the finale with Deshane and Sully, but the actual finale. I'm glad Stefan didn't kill him. I'm glad Stefan didn't kill Sully. I know people wanted revenge. I know, but him taking revenge would have just replaced him with Sully. He would have become the new Sully. Not literally, but metaphorically, he would become the new Sully, because then he just kills and he's just nothing inside. And I'm glad Sully kind of reinforced that by saying, I'm nothing inside, and that kind of probably made him realize, Stefan, that if he kills him, then he'll become just like him. And revenge isn't the right direction. Just moving on past it and letting this man destroy his own life was perfect. I like how they didn't go the easy route of making him kill his brother for his brother, which is perfect. Just everything in the show was just perfect, the way they wrapped it up nicely. And Sully dying in the hands of Jack was brilliant too. It was just a random attack that you didn't see coming. It was kind of hinted by the camera work and how you saw kind of the outside, and you saw you knew someone's gonna kill him, but still you didn't really expect Jack to kill him, which was brilliant. And it wasn't Sully, someone who's in a sense pure and never really killed anyone, and you want him to be in the right path, right? You don't want him to be just like Jamie, which is great that they didn't just turn him on to the bad path. Overall, this show, even though it had its boring points, some points, just a little bit, overall it was brilliant. It felt realistic. You felt the tension, especially with the finale. You had a perfect ending for each character. Introducing the element of selling drugs being bad and not glorifying it like other shows. I like how they introduced that with Jack's perspective, and then Sully and Deshane dying because of their pursuit of money, drugs, and all that. It was brilliant. And just showing how losing your soul to the pursuit of money leads to an inevitable path of death is phenomenal, and that's why I love the show. And brilliant work on the showrunners of this show. And that's my review of Top Boy, and I'll see you guys. Subscribe, and bye.